Hey everybody, welcome to my day one video for my Overland Track journey. In today's video I'm going to be giving you a bit of a rundown on what you can expect on the Overland Track, what the conditions might be like, some hints and tricks as we go along. I walked the Overland Track in 2025 just after the bushfires had closed the track and the track had been reopened, and that was my second time hiking the track. I'd done it once before, almost 10 years ago now. The idea of this series is to give you a reasonable idea of what you might expect if you're thinking about or you've booked in to walk the Overland Track yourself. The Overland Track is an 85-kilometre hike through Cradle Mountain. In the peak period, you walk from Ronnie's Creek over Cradle Mountain and out to Lake St Clair down through Cynthia Bay. It's important to note that everything that you need to hike in with you, and you need to take all your rubbish out. There's also no electricity along the track, so this series relies on the solar charger that I had with me and my phone's battery. So most of what you'll see will be photographs, and there'll just be a few videos of track conditions to give you some idea. If you've watched my packing video, just note I did make a last minute change. I didn't use the camel pack and I changed to water bottles, and that was just so that I had a bottle that I was drinking from, a bottle that could have a tablet in it that was purifying, and then I had a separate bottle just for electrolytes as well. I also had a little bit of spare room in the bag, so I packed 2 extra pairs of socks. One of those was everyday wear and one of them was designated my sleeping socks. So the total weight of my pack was about 22 kilos, and it's important to note that you shouldn't have your pack anything more than about 25% of your total body weight. Alright, here we go. Let's get into day one's video.
At Cradle Mountain, you'll check in at the visitor centre. You'll get a briefing and then you'll jump on the shuttle bus down to Ronnie Creek, and that's where you'll start your trek. The bus is included in the booking fee. From Ronnie Creek, sign into the walking logbook in the little shed just across the road, take a photo of yourself starting your journey at the sign, and it's time to begin. Expect it to take you at least an hour from the time you arrive at the visitor centre until you get to the track. If you miss the start of a briefing, it could be 90 minutes before you're off and walking. That includes the briefing itself, getting packed, waiting for the bus, and then getting the bus down to Ronnie Creek. I was hiking not long after the 2025 bushfires that impacted Tasmania. So instead of the normal hike to Kitchen Hut, I detoured via Wombat Pools, something I didn't see on my last hike. Wombat Pools was a lovely spot for a few quick photos before I pressed on to Kitchen Hut for lunch, and some clever person managed to scratch the L out of the signs. Kitchen Hut is almost halfway to Waterfall Valley, and it's a really great spot for lunch. I cooked a hot lunch, so I ended up stopping for almost half an hour. Lesson learnt: pack protein bars, tuna, wraps, something non-cooked for lunch. Most days I skipped lunch, and I didn't cook until I got to camp. I just didn't want the hassle of taking out my gas and my burner, setting it all up and then packing it away. Next time I definitely won't be bringing cooked lunches. From here you can detour to the Cradle Mountain summit or continue on to Waterfall Valley. Today it's just under 11 kilometres with an advised time of about 4 to 6 hours. Remember, this doesn't include any side trips. If you're planning on summiting Cradle Mountain, add about another 3 hours to this. But remember, summiting any of the peaks on this hike requires a really high degree of fitness and ability. Expect a boulder scramble and some very steep sections if you attempt this. And if the weather turns bad or changes as you start, be prepared to turn back. It took me 5 hours to get to camp, including my half-hour lunch stop. And my plan was to camp and only sleep in the huts if the weather was really bad. So I set up my tent on one of the raised camping platforms. Being one of the first to arrive for the day, I was able to take a video of the inside of the hut. The other hut looks very similar to the inside of this one, but I wasn't always the first one there, so sometimes it's only photos in future videos. The drop toilets had been replaced since I was there last, and wow, these had no smell, they were amazing toilets and exceeded my expectations. They were cleaned daily by the rangers and really enhanced the hike. The old hut was still there, and the contrast to the new one is almost unbelievable. The hut sizes vary each day, but generally they sleep about 20 to 30 people. The old Waterfall Valley hut is still here and it sleeps about 6 people. Things sure have come a long way. Before setting off on this multi-day hike, make sure you have packed all the right equipment, including first aid gear and a personal locator beacon, or PLB. Tasmania Parks and Wildlife Services have a great little book which details what to pack and what to expect each day. It's worth paying for when you book your hike. Hot tip: I walked the track last time without poles, and used poles this time. While there are a few places that the poles are hard to use because of the width of the track, I would highly recommend them and I would bring them back next time. The mosquitoes around camp were intense, but I wasn't bitten once. I cooked up a feast of dehydrated food, put on my extra pair of sleeping socks and called it a day. I managed to see some lizards, pademelons, bumblebees and a lot of wombat poo, but no wombat today.
Thanks for watching my day one video. Do remember that if you'd like to walk the Overland Track, you do need to book in advance, and it's best to book as soon as the tickets are available. There's something like 6,000 tickets only, so it's important that you book early on. It's quite a popular track. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you'll get next week day 2 video, and share it with anybody that might be thinking about walking the track or who might be interested in hiking as well. Thanks very much. I shall see you on the next one. Bye for now.